everybody, my name is Jay Fatty. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about using sends, reverb sends, delay sends, and just regular effect sends on your vocals to get them sounding nice. Now, we've covered sends in previous videos, but I just want to add this into the vocal mixing playlist just so we got it. Essentially, a send is the wet signal only of an effect. Normally, on the mixer, when you drop an effect in there, you put it on the track and it doesn't split up the wet and dry. Sometimes there's wet and dry knobs you can mess with, but when you have the signal on when you have the effect on a send, it actually lets you completely separate the wet and dry, letting you manipulate and do certain things. Okay, so let's get right into it. We're on the same track here. I'll just play a little bit of it. If you want to check my previous videos out, we've talked about EQing your vocals to make them more brighter and less muddy. We've talked about de-essing your vocals. We've talked about doing an overall cleanup of your vocals and adding gain to make them sound louder. Now we're into sends. So I'm going to link the playlist in the top right now so you can go check those out. A lot of information and value in those videos. All right, so here's the verse. We'll play just a little bit.
Rise up, apply pressure before you're dead on the stretcher. Yes, sir, whatever measure. Pleasure comes with pain, no hurt means no gain. Strain my, so I go and smoke a strain.
Now it's already starting to sound pretty decent, okay? We just need to make it not as dry. So I have the verse right here. I already have sends laid out on my right side here. To dock something to the right, you can go to an empty track, right click it, and go dock to. And then you can choose where you want to dock it. And then name it and color it whatever you want. First thing we're going to add is reverb. So with the send, we're just going to pretty much sidechain, or with the send, we're just going to pretty much route this track to that track. So all we're going to do is, while highlighted on the verse, we're just going to click this little arrow. It's going to route it to that track as well. Okay? Now, on the reverb send, we can put in just reverb 2. And we're going to want to turn the dry knob down because the dry knob is already being activated by the actual insert, the actual verse. Like I said, we just want the dry and wet separated. So we turn it down and it's just the wet signal over here on this side. All right, so let's edit it a little bit, make it sound nice.
Rise up, apply pressure before you're dead on the stretcher. Yes, sir, whatever measure. Pleasure comes with pain, no hurt means no gain. Strain my.
We can either turn the wet knob down right here or actually turn the insert down of the send, or even while we're highlighting on the verse, we can turn this knob down right here. We'll just turn it down on the actual send.
Rise up, apply pressure before you're dead on the stretcher. Yes, sir, whatever measure. Pleasure comes with pain, no hurt means no gain. Strain my, so I go and smoke a strain, and it ain't in vain or to get no praise.
Now we can do a stereo separation right here. More towards the left is going to make it more stereo, and towards the right is going to make it more mono. We want it more mono since it is just a verse. We want it sitting in the mid. We don't really want stuff getting sent to the stereo when it comes to the verse. Now sometimes with your vocals you will have it in stereo depending if it's a chorus or whatever you're doing. But in this case we don't want it.
Rise up, apply pressure before you're dead on the stretcher. Yes, sir, whatever measure. Pleasure comes with pain, no hurt means no gain. Strain my, so I go and smoke a strain, and it ain't in vain or to get no praise. Do it to keep from going insane. Too late, speculate my brain. Rise up, apply pressure before you're dead on the stretcher.
All right, that sounds pretty dope. Now if we wanted to, we can add an EQ on here just to clean up some of the lows and highs of the reverb.
Rise up, apply pressure before you're dead on the stretcher. Yes, sir, whatever measure. Pleasure comes with pain, no hurt means no gain. Strain my, so I go and smoke a strain.
All right, now that sounds pretty dope. Now let's add some delay, okay? So we can do the same thing, route it to the delay send, put a delay 3 on there. All right, and we're going to turn the dry signal down as well. And I'm going to bring the smoothing up a little bit. I don't want it on tempo sync. I'm going to make sure the cutoff is all the way up and bring the level down. Maybe offset it to the right a little bit, okay? And do ping pong. I can either do ping pong or mono. Delay, we can have it be a little bit more stereo just so it sounds good. But if it starts to sound weird, we can just put it in mono. All right, now let's mess with this a little bit.
Rise up and apply pressure.
Let me turn the actual send down a little bit because that's too much. And I actually am going to put an EQ in and clean up the lows and highs.
Rise up and apply pressure before you're dead on the stretcher. Yes, sir. Rise up and apply pressure before you're dead on the stretcher. Yes, sir. Whatever measure, pleasure comes with pain. No hurt means no gain. Strain my so I go and smoke a strain, and it ain't in vain or to get no praise. Do it to keep from going insane. Too late, speculate my brain. They yo, he say, she say. Now I'm in my own way. Nobody gonna get the best of me unless we grow together and create the recipe. Especially no pessimistic hater, that's disaster scene.
Now that's starting to sound all right, but as you can hear, the delay is kind of interfering with the actual vocals. So what we're gonna do is put a limiter on the delay send, and we're gonna go to the compression tab, right click on the sidechain and do verse. So it's gonna sidechain to that verse. We're gonna bring the knee in ratio all the way up and bring the threshold down just enough to where it's affecting it, usually about in the middle. You can see more when we actually play it. And we're gonna mess with the attack and release. And what this is gonna do is every time my voice is going, the delay is not really gonna be going. It'll just only be going in those pockets.
Rise up and apply pressure before you're dead on the stretcher. Yes, sir. Whatever measure, pleasure comes with pain. No hurt means no gain. Strain my so I go and smoke a strain, and it ain't in vain or to get no praise. Do it to keep from going insane. Too late, speculate my brain. They yo, he say, she say. Now I'm in my own way. Nobody gonna get the best of me unless we grow together and create the recipe. Especially no pessimistic hater, that's disaster scene. Red flags go out now and dip and be, yeah. Physically here but mentally an entity. Instrumentally free, let's make a masterpiece, yeah. Rise up and apply pressure. Rise up and apply pressure before you're dead on the stretch. Rise up and apply pressure.
Mess with the tone knob as well. You can get some interesting sounds.
Rise up and apply pressure before you're dead on the stretcher. Yes, sir. Whatever measure, pleasure comes with pain. No hurt means no gain. Strain my so I go and smoke a strain, and it ain't in vain or to get no praise. Do it to keep from going insane. Too late, speculate my brain. They yo, he say, she say. Now I'm in my own way. Nobody gonna get the best of me unless we grow together and create the recipe. Especially no pessimistic hater, that's disaster scene. Red flags go out now and dip and be, yeah. Physically here but mentally an entity. Instrumentally free, let's make a masterpiece, yeah. Spiritual means looking through the cosmos. Rise up and apply pressure before you're dead on the stretcher. Yes, sir. Whatever measure, pleasure comes with pain. No hurt means no gain. Strain my so I go and smoke a strain, and it ain't in vain or to get no praise. Do it to keep from going insane. Too late, speculate my brain. They yo, he say, she say. Now I'm in my own way. Nobody gonna get the best of me unless we grow together and create the recipe. Especially no pessimistic hater, that's disaster scene. Red flags go out now and dip and be, yeah. Physically here but mentally an entity. Instrumentally free, let's make a masterpiece, yeah. Spiritual means looking through the cosmos. Third eye open, now I see what I gotta be.
Now that sounds really dope. It's not too affected, but it's not dry either. It's got some niceness with it. So that's pretty much it. Using these tips, you can really mix in your vocals and get them sounding decent. Now, obviously, it's not always about the mix. You want to record them nice, but you don't need a crazy microphone to record it, and you don't need crazy soundproofing either. So just really experiment with different microphones, different room settings, and all sorts of stuff. But literally, I just record my stuff in the middle of my room. I don't even have any soundproofing or anything. So, it is a little bit about the mixing. The mixing can really save a good recording, but if the recording's poop and you're trying to polish it, you're just trying to polish a turd. You know what I'm saying? So it really goes back and forth, but I hope these tips helped you out. If they did bring you value, please leave a like, hit subscribe, and hit that little bell. I really appreciate that. Make sure you stay safe, stay striving, and always be getting it. Much love, y'all. Peace.